It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, Phil, hate to say it, but you had a point. Your candidate getting hit makes him tougher. Trump's ready to beat Hillary. Wow, for a Trump supporter to give me any kind of props means I have come a long, long way. But it says, Phil, hate to say it, but you had a point. Your candidate getting hit makes him tougher. Trump's ready to beat Hillary. Wow. This is coming on the post-debate day of the Phil Williams Show on Patriot Insight Radio. And Trump did get hit a lot last night in the debate. And so this tweet is saying that I was right. I had a point, because my whole point was always Trump supporters are not doing their candidate any good because they are protecting him from himself. They are protecting him from being hit, from him being able to learn how to respond to what he wants to call negativity, and look at this as a presidential campaign. They are treating their candidate and demanding he gets treated with kid gloves, following the trumpeting of their own candidate. As long as you treat me nice. But here's my response to your tweet. You really don't understand what's at stake for the liberal utopia and just how close they are to it. There is one thing that they need to accomplish everything liberalism has ever wanted to accomplish in the history of its existence, especially with the most prosperous nation, with the most humblest group of people assembled. Not perfect, but we have something that no other country on this planet has. And the liberals just need one thing to get it. Before I tell you what that one thing is, let me just break it down like this. This is everything that this fundamental transformation that has been taking place over the last 50, 60 years, but functioning out in the open for the last 8. This is everything that it takes for them to lose, that they have to lose. This is what's at stake for them. If they lose these things, they're done. If they lose the Justice Department, if they lose that, then that means the IRS scandal comes back into play, Planned Parenthood comes into play, the emails, Fast and Furious, every single potential thing that this Justice Department has been squashing in order for this fundamental transformation to take place. If they lose health care, if they lose immigration, if they get all the executive orders and actions overturned, the Benghazi situation. See, you guys look at Hillary with this Benghazi thing. No, that thing is bigger than Hillary. That's why it's being squashed. The Iran deal gets done. It's over. They already got the money, but it stops. Consequences and repercussions are set back in motion. All the EPA regulations and how the EPA has gotten into business and this and that and the third. The race issues that they finally was able to accomplish. Getting black people to hate whitey out in the open and all of these things. Getting black people to be the spearheads to shooting cops and hating cops and hate law enforcement rhetoric. All the race issues. Dropout rate in education. Having the minorities on their way to prisons and stuff. Just having them just totally dysfunctional. Not wanting a Republican or a conservative helping hand, but ready to elect Democrats for life. With this one is huge. The Supreme Court has now come into play for the liberal utopia. They don't have to get another John Roberts to help them out. They don't need that. All of their liberal policies and causes, gay marriage, all these kind of things, this is what's at stake. But here's something that's even more interesting. They'll be the ones that says we had the first female president. But this thing is even bigger than Hillary Clinton. But that is something that they want. Why? Because Hillary Clinton is muck and mired in all of the other potential scandals, Benghazi and Fast and Furious and things of this nature. She knows where the bones are buried, and this is her time. This is her deal. She's the one next in line, and she sacrificed so much to have this point. And they're going to give it to her at all costs. I haven't got to the one thing that they need, but I just wanted to show you what they have to lose so that you can see what's really truly at stake. These are the things that's needed in order for them to protect their fundamental transformation coming into fruition. Here's everything that they needed. You ready? Check this out. They need the media. They need the White House and its veto pen. They need the same kind of functioning Congress that they have now. The filibuster and complicit rhino Republicans, and everybody's scared of the president's veto. They don't vote on and make him veto it, just the threat of it is good. The threat of a government shutdown makes Republicans acquiesce to all of their things, continue to give blank checks. They need the same kind of Congress and the same kind of mentality to stay. They need the Justice Department to stay in Democratic hands. They need the presidency to keep the same kind of Justice Department. Loretta Lynch hasn't been there that long. So, you know, she can get a longer run before people start getting tired of hearing her voice. They need this Justice Department to continue to protect them from all of their scandals. But before I get to the one thing that they need, I'm going to add one more thing to this component that they need. This is not the big thing, but they need Donald Trump. They need everything that they know about him and hold it back, some of it trickle out, let the Republicans bring it up so that they can continue to tick off Donald Trump supporters, because all he needs is 30%, 40% to continue to make him the nominee. They need it. Why do they need Donald Trump to be the nominee? This is bigger than Hillary. It's bigger than Bernie. It's so that they can accomplish their liberal utopia. This is the one thing they need. Are you ready? They need 4 more years. That's what they need. 4 more years. Trump is the best case to provide them 4 more years. Don't forget now, he's under investigation for hoodwinking people in colleges. That thing is huge, people. You can brush it under the rug if you want. That thing is huge. Why? Because it's controlled by their Justice Department. He sinks or swim based on the Justice Department. They're holding these things back so he gets the nominee so they can slap him down, because that guarantees them their 4 more years. That's all they want. There is no way on God's green earth Donald Trump can stop them from their 4 more years. He doesn't have the things in place that it takes to stop him. He doesn't have 50% support like the Democrats have, regardless of what's happening in the primary. He has just enough support in the primary to become our nominee. He doesn't have the media on his side. The media doesn't care if he's the first businessman, billionaire that becomes president. The media is liberal, and they care about Hillary Clinton being the first female president. Donald Trump doesn't make history like Hillary does. Donald Trump has a history like Hillary does, but he doesn't make history. Because he has a history like Hillary does, and he doesn't have the media, he doesn't have the Justice Department, he doesn't have the White House, he doesn't have a protective mechanism like Hillary does. He doesn't have a protective mechanism like liberalism does. And they are right here, and all they need is 4 more years. They get the Supreme Court in 4 more years. See, right now you can stall them. The stall thing was a big thing. But how long you're not going to stall them for the next 5 years? You can stall the Supreme Court pick until we get somebody in the White House and then we pick a conservative. But Donald Trump is the key for us never to get a conservative in the White House. He is on the verge of getting the nomination. And all these little things that you hear, the tax thing and all this stuff trickling out, Trump supporters are going to look at it as hater stuff. This is what they've been practicing for a minute. It showed in the debate that Donald Trump can't take a punch. He can't be hit without fumbling and stumbling all over the place. You think he's getting tougher? He's not. He's getting closer to the liberals needing the one thing to accomplish their liberal utopia. 4 more years. That's all they need. It doesn't matter if it's Hillary or Bernie or Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden. It don't matter. If it's Donald Trump, they'll get their 4 more years. He'll get the nomination. They'll indict him. They'll drag the indictment on. They'll damage this dude so bad based on his own freaking mouth. He doesn't have anything on his side but a bunch of wayward supporters that think he's going to make America great again with no specifics just because he said so. 4 more years, people, that's all they need, and we're done as America. That's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.